Radio Bypass, bringing you rock and roll music that deserves to be heard. Discover new bands. Here's some old favorites on Radio Bypass.
Hey guys, today on Radio Bypass, we are joined by the man who sang our number one album of 2025, which was Soulbound, and is likely to have our number one album of 2026 with his band Black Swan. Joining us today is Robin McAuley. How you doing, Robin?
Radio Bypass, Ralph, thank you so much for having me on here. Thanks for all the support. It's great to be with you. And hi, everybody. Hello, California.
That's right. Yeah, Robin, it's great to have you back on. And it's something kind of neat, too. Last year, 2025, you were the first guest on Radio Bypass for the year. And that's going to happen again this year. You're going to be the first guest of 2026.
You know what? I'm just going to make a statement right now. I'm coming back every year.
That's it. Yeah, let's just make it every January. It's Robin McAuley time. Whether there's a new record or not, we'll just get together and chat for a bit.
Good for chat. Good for chat and a cup of tea.
That's right. So Black Swan, the much anticipated album number 3, has been entitled Paralyzed. And I know it early on was getting promoted for a February 13th date. Just so everybody knows, the release is pushed back a couple of weeks. February 27th, you can look forward to Paralyzed, hopefully in a record store near you. And we're super stoked about it. And I know all the guys involved in the record, I'm sure, are extra excited. So tell us a little bit about the new Black Swan record.
Well, it's called Paralyzed. We do have the title track out as our third single right now. We released what the label like to call a teaser single right out the gate. I think as far back as
November, maybe, was it?
October. Yeah.
Was it October?
October, I think, maybe that early. Called A Fire on the Flame, just to kind of get it set up. And then we shot 2 videos same day. We did If I Was King and Paralyzed. If I Was King came out as the second, and Paralyzed is currently out as the third. A little early, I think, maybe ahead of the game, but anyway. Great fun again. Logistically, not as easy as maybe we'd all like it, but I live kind of close to Jeff, and it's the same process. Reb comes in from Pittsburgh. He woodsheds for a couple of weeks at Jeff's studio. They send me a bucket load of songs, and then he takes off while I'm working on that. And Jeff will go, I'm available for these 3 days. Can you make it? How much stuff do you have ready? And so it's pedal to the metal, no pun intended. And we get what we can done, and then the sketch comes in. And an interesting process is that the drummer, who technically is usually in the room with the bass player when all this is going down, is nowhere to be seen because he lives in Connecticut. So all of the stuff is done, and then we sort of send it out by that wonderful route of technology. It lands on his desktop. And interestingly enough, Matt said he really likes that kind of a process because he gets to sit, listen to what's down, and come in where he feels as that he may not have had opportunity if you were just crashing it out in the room and you go, I wish I had done that. I wish I had done that. So he gets to live with it a little bit. It's great because you talked about my solo stuff. I have 3 solos down with Frontiers Music, and now we have 3 Black Swans. So 6 records in almost 6 years. Time period. So we've been busy, and we're very happy with this. I think there's an obvious type of writing progression since Shake the World, which hit us throughout the pandemic, which almost everybody forgets.
Right.
But it really didn't happen.
Came out right then. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that was a kind of an odd kind of a time. But we got the work done, and we kind of used it stylistically. I suppose I did lyrically. I know because of Shake the World, it was like, there you are in this, what the hell's going on? Mm-hmm. And conveniently, we moved into Generation Mind because I think a lot of us believe that post-pandemic, some people, if not a lot of people, never been the same after it. It's like a different mindset, people were, I think, less respectful, less caring, less the above. Anyway, we got into Generation Mind, and here we are now with Paralyzed, and I kind of use the topics of going, well, here we are once again, stage 3, and I think sometimes we feel we're in a sort of a state of paralysis. What the hell's going on? What are we doing? And I kind of sort of tie in the artwork. It gets a little, as Reb said to me at the set, he goes, dude, what was your mindset when it comes to Paralyzed? And I went, oh, you don't get it? And so I'm explaining that and I can't even pronounce it, but the whole concept of the cover with the swan and all of the littlest swannies, it basically stems from me stumbling across, I think my wife Gina stumbled across this.
I don't know if you can see that real good.
Yes, this archaeological find from the Qin period in China. Very old, where
I would never know this.
Yes, it was a famous emperor, and a couple of fruit farmers were out digging, and they stumbled across this find. Actually, I think it's one of the 8 wonders of the world because it's. So anyway, long story ended. So he wanted his tomb to be surrounded by about 8,000 of his warrior. They called them the terracotta warriors. And these farmers found it in pristine condition, all lined up. They have chariots, they have horses, they have all sorts of stuff, about 6 meters, maybe more down, and they were in perfect condition, all lined up. And it's famous. There's a big museum that has it all in China and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I started thinking that'd be kind of cool because they are in a state of paralysis, as it were. And I started thinking, because the track was already written, and I went, this is to be cool. Get an ice scape, frozen. It's our kind of a mindset. Where are we going in the world today? Are we going this way? Are we going that way? We're kind of frozen. We have to wait till all this melts away till we see what the next phase is. And I'm telling Rab this, and he goes, dude, that is heavy. Do you think anybody will get it? And I went, well, I get it.
You're the one, probably.
I'm the only one that gets it. So I thought I'd explain myself, and people are probably still going, huh? So it's just, it adds to the writing because, usually when I get together with Jeff will go, okay, what's the name of this next track? And I'll say, Paralyzed. And he goes, so what's the story behind this? Because story and we waste so much time in the studio because we just start talking like you and I are. And I go, I have to tell you, otherwise you'll go, huh? Just sing it. and that's kind of how the process is. It's kind of, there's a lot of fun. We don't take ourselves very seriously. I mean, we love melody, and we try to keep that element, no matter how the music is structured. If it's a song, if it's a more of a mid-tempo ballad, if it's that sort of stuff, the melody is super important to me, Jeff, to Reb, and I mean, you just have to look at Jeff's past, his history, Reb's history. I mean, writing all those great Winger songs at such an early age and still doing it.
Right.
And he hears stuff, and sometimes he'll go, you're singing a major over that minor chord. And I'm going, I am? I didn't hear that. And that's the kind of stuff that goes on. And then we'll change the suit, and he goes, I prefer that note than that note, and I prefer the sound of that lyric than this one. So that's the kind of stuff that we fix on the fly, and we are with record number 3, and we're looking forward to it coming out. So far, there's been a great positive reaction to it. So,
I bet.
if we could just play live now. There is talk.
Yeah, well, I know I always give you grief about that, Robin. And
there is talk. There is an event sometime at the end of the year in LA that we have been.
I was just going to say it has
plenty of notice.
All right, it has to be here because I know you personally. I get so sad. I'm like, Robin's got all these gigs, but they're all on the other side of the ocean for me, so I could never come and see you play live. And I was giving you grief before we got recording here about that. I saw half a Black Swan playing Saturday night.
Yeah, we did with MSG. I did the Monsters cruise last year, and so I'm on the ship, and one of the first people I run into is Rev. Right, Rev's there with Winger, and he's going, "Dude, are people like coming at you going, well, there's two parts of Black Swan here. Are we going to hear a Black Swan song?" And then he starts going, "Well, if we were, what would we do?" And I'm going, "Reb, we're not. We're not. And I said, "How many conversations have we had? I need at least 3 weeks rehearsal." So there is an event associated with the label, with Frontiers, towards the end of the year, and we've been approached. We, the band, have been approached, and now there's talk of, well, if you're going to rehearse for that and do that, why don't we do this as well? So everybody's going, promise we will be in tune with this. This is my schedule, and it looks like we could do something right there in that period. That would be your ear to the ground. I promise you I will let you know. How about that?
Very good.
I'll let you know.
I know
I'll
a
have
lot
you
of
up
people
front and center, but you have to wear my shirt.
I'm in. Heck, maybe I'll even get another one.
No, Rev might want one. Who knows?
There you go. I'll just buy one for all of you guys. If you'll play, I'll buy the shirts. Okay.
There you go. But getting back quickly to because you showed the cover. There's some I'm promoting now. There's some great, really awesome looking vinyl with this record. The frosted look, that sort of blue icy one that's like the cover artwork. And then I think there's a gold, there's a red, there's a blue, and then there's merchandising, a lot more than there was last time, too, like there's hoodies and T-shirts and all sorts of stuff.
I did see that. I guess I do not have that in front of me, but I know you guys can pre-order now any of the things Robin's just talking about. But I guess I don't have the link immediately in front of me, but I'll include it in this chat. Because I did see some of that. It looks pretty cool. And there's some packages too with the shirts.
You can.
There's even a hoodie, I think, if I remember correctly.
There is a hoodie. I want that hoodie. I'm not sure I'll get one, but I want one. I'll probably have to pay for it.
Well, at least maybe you can get an employee discount, huh?
Senior discount, maybe.
That too.
Oh dear.
The only good thing about being older, senior discounts.
Right? Works every time.
That's right. Well, so you told us the story about Paralyzed, and then If I Was King was also one of the tracks that's been released pre-album. Yes. What were you thinking on that one? I bet there's some kind of good story to that too.
It started out, honestly, it started out as a little sort of biblical almost. And I was thinking, there's so much going on. And I was thinking, if there's a higher power, depending on what your belief is, what would they have to say? And I'm thinking, they would probably go, if that was me, that's not how I would do it. And that's really where the title came about. If I was king, this is how I would do it. And so, the song sort of goes through the story of, I've done it this way, I've done it that way, I've tried everything. And that higher power, again, I'm not pushing any, whatever your belief is sitting going, yeah, not quite, not there yet. Yeah, can I just jump in here and tell you how I think it should be done? That's really what it was. I gave it to the video director, and he came up with that whole idea. And we used a lot of green screen on that, and he goes, "There's a lot of information to get on here." So we basically let the song roll and let it do its own kind of thing. But that's kind of the storyline behind it, you know. If I was in charge, I would do things a lot differently. And I'm not talking politically, I'm just talking life in general.
Right.
How we do things, how we live our daily lives, you know. You messed up, why? You know, because you didn't do it the right way to begin with, that sort of stuff. You know, I was getting very sort of going down the rabbit hole, I guess.
Right.
That's what came out. But the melody's good.
always with you. Okay, and then I was kind of curious too if this ties in with some of the thinking too. Is that the last track on here is "What the Future Holds"?
Yes.
So tell us about that.
And again, it's so. I'm not into conceptual albums, whether the full content, lyrical content, or even taking artwork through that whole sort of journey. I'm not really into that sort of stuff, but it would suggest, I suppose, that I am, because there's a lot of the songs on Paralyzed that kind of connect storyline, and we thought we leave it to Jeff to create the track listing. And what the future holds is a kind of a thing. Where are we going? Where are we going? You know, and Jeff came up with that great line. He goes, the vocal is great on this. He goes, I have this great idea to just repeat what you're saying. Tell me what the future holds. And it's like, I cross your palm with silver. Will somebody just tell me what the hell's going on here? And that's just kind of the concept of the song of where all curiosity killed the cat, as they say. We all want to know, to look into the future. It's not going to happen, you know. But you can thread your course a little bit if you so desire, and it's just about lifestyle, really. It's about lifestyle, and you know, straight and narrow sometimes is a little boring, but you don't want to fall off the sides too far to the left and too far to the right, you know, and we all don't know where we're going sometimes, you know.
Right.
So we're looking for the, you know, come into my parlor, I will tell you. Cross my palm with silver, I'll tell you where you're going.
All right, Zoltan, or whatever that,
right.
That is.
Right? You know, break out the tarot cards, you know. And then I suppose the question in the song also is, would you want to? Would you want to know? And so there's that question.
Right.
You know,
sometimes you don't.
Yeah. You know, it's like the curiosity again, kill the cat. It's like, I want to know everything, but, you know, a little too much knowledge is a dangerous thing. Is that what they say? I don't know who they are, but.
Right. To some we hear. Somewhere.
Yeah. Yep. Somewhere.
That's cool. Let's see, what else do I want to ask you about the record of songs I haven't heard yet? On the first record, you know how I loved, which I know you told us, Jeff wrote the what I call the opus, United, Divided, you know, that, which was just an amazing piece. I just love the way it is. Is there any of these songs, anything longer like that?
Yeah, we were thinking, because one sent me the music track that turned out to be called "I'm Ready." It's not a ballad. It's not even a mid-tempo thing, but it's musically. I think it's just a great piece of music. And Jeff was playing these great bass notes that just took me off and in the direction I went. And again, getting back to the concept that's not really there. I envisaged everybody, I mean, the world at large, coming together in a big room. And very bright lights. I'm not sure if we were all dead and gone, or we're just about to pass through that sort of light everybody talks about seeing. And it was more of a confessional. It was like, gather all the people. That's basically what it was. And we're going to tell each other a story. How was it for you? How was it for you? You know, and if you things, what would it be? And after everybody spilled the beans, okay, I'm ready. I can go now. And that's kind of where it was. It sounds like a little macabre, a little dark, and that's how I sort of was. I was down that rabbit hole again.
Right.
But I hit it all with some cool melodies, and Reb heard it, and he goes, "Oh, dude, there's some cool." He goes, "What the hell is going on in your head?" And I went, I have no idea. I have no idea. So that's kind of where we all play with this sort of stuff.
It is kind of funny, you know, a lot of your songs, you know, kind of dark themed, it seems, but you're such a light. So it must just be that you just consider these things.
I don't know, yeah, because we opened with a track. We opened with I think it's a great track. I think it's quintessentially a Black Swan sounding song. We have it's called When the Cold Wind Blows. And I just had this idea of being a child scared in their bedroom, but outside following it's really cold and dismal and dark. And this winter will never go. And you're there and you're poor and you don't have much, which unfortunately there's so many people in such circumstances. And then the ice monster comes and gets you. That's really where that song goes. You know, it's really what it is. And again, Jeff's going. He just kind of shakes his head, and he goes, "How can you make something so dark and scary, and turn it into such a great piece of music?" And I'm going, "Well, you guys wrote the music. It's your fault. It's not my fault." And then Reb and I were going, you know, that's intro, man. And I said, yeah, and so is the intro on If I Was King. And then we're like going, you know what? Forget track listing and forget putting it here, there, and put the two out, 1 and 2 together. And Jeff's going, hold on. So we have to have the referee in the middle, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a heap of fun putting it together. It really is. And I think that has developed over 3 records where we've really understood each other more from never working together. I mean, I've worked with Jeff, of course, in the past.
Right.
I never worked with Reb. And I think I told you some time ago, the very, very first track that I introduced to Reb and Jeff was the second track on the Shake the World record called Big Disaster. And Reb turns around and he goes, dude, we've never worked together before. You come in here and the first song we're going to start recording is called Big Disaster. He goes, how the hell do you think that's going to go down? And I went, and it became a single. And, you know, it became a song that we all really loved, and we loved playing it on the video and everything. So we kind of developed this sort of serious, but we're not serious, and we want to make a great record. We want a song to be able to stand alone, and we're not about fillers. We don't want to throw anything away, any part of the song, and so we enjoyed the process. I hope I'm right, and so we enjoyed the process of putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and just writing music that we love. And I think you know, we're all 80s guys. There's no escaping that. Right. But we tried to sprinkle it with a little sort of refreshing sound, make it a little modern sounding in places, make it not so obvious, not so boring, and I hope it sounds a little bit fresher than just a regular what we're used to. And I think we sound like Black Swan, and I think we sort of, over 3 records, we managed to capture that. So, and Jeff just told us when we shot the videos, he goes, by the way, you do know we have to do another record. He goes, because when we got the first contract, it says 3 records. but it didn't include the first one.
Smart.
And so Rev looks at me and he goes, better get to work then.
That's right. That's right. Because obviously, with all your schedules, it'll take you some time to put it all together.
This actually, next one could take 6 years.
No, don't do that to us.
Yeah. There is another Black Swan, but let's get this one done first. Yeah.
Yes, and let's get those live shows. Yes,
it'd be great.
With 3 albums,
we would love to do it. I think I said it to you before. I mean, the ideal forum, I think, would be festivals, or certain festivals. And it doesn't matter about where you are in the bill. It would just be a great way to introduce a band that's relatively unknown, apart from its members, and go, this is us, this is what we do. And I always use the same adage, as it were, a lot of people in the same place at the same time, as opposed to trying to get on a tour bus and do small places that maybe nobody shows up to. And
sure,
financially, it would be a crazy mistake to make.
Right.
Because it's hard to put a bus on the road, let alone fill the damn bus.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So, given all those factors, if we could get onto a couple of spot positions on festivals, I don't care where it is, on the bill. I think just to actually get up and perform and go, this is what we do, and let's do some more. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, I hope that happens, and I hope some of those festivals are in the United States, though.
We would like that too. I will actually, as a solo artist, be performing. I got invited to perform at Sweden Rock this year, so I'll be actually playing Sweden Rock on June 5th, I believe. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, and you did a lot in 2025. You were over in Europe quite a bit.
Yeah, so I did Sweden twice. I did Spain twice. We were in Italy, and then we were in Germany. And then I did, I think, a month of 5 weeks in the UK. And it's crazy, Ralph, because it's like a football team. I have 3 squads. I have a great band out of Sweden called the Gathering of Kings, who's a regular band, and they just happen to love the McAuley Schenker period.
Nice. So
one of the stipulations from the Swedish promoter was, we really wanted to do this, but we want all the McAuley Schenker songs that we never get to hear at a regular MSG show. So that was part of the stipulations. And then suddenly they heard about it. Then we end up in Spain. We did Rock the Sun Festival. We did Zurbaran Festival. Same thing. Can't do it unless we hear this. And the Spanish audience are nuts. They're nuts. It's really cool. And then I went to the UK. And so in Spain, I have the Italian band, the same band that's actually on Soulbound and Standing on the Edge and Alive. It's great musicians. Andrea Cerveso, my hero guitar player, is just... dude's awesome. And so I go to the UK and I have a different squad there, and they learn the stuff just like the record, whether it's the MSG material and or my solo stuff. They learn it just like the record. And then one of the cool things at the Firefest Festival in Manchester, UK, that producer, a promoter, said, I'm a big Grand Prix fan. I need to hear Grand. And I went, it's been 40 years.
Right.
None of us has performed a Grand Prix song outside the realm of the band that's now defunct. And he says, well, figure it out. So I actually got hold of Phil Lanson, who's Uriah Heep's keyboard player. And he's been in Uriah Heep for maybe 20-something years since the end of Grand Prix. And the guitar player, Mick O'Donoghue. And I talked to them, and they both came and joined me on stage at the Fire Festival, and it was awesome. We're gonna mix that live record, and that will see the light of day at some point, maybe this year.
Did you do Grand Prix from 2 records or just one?
We did Samurai, we did Keep On Believing, and we did, what was the third song? We did Shout. Yeah.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and
Shout.
And it was kind of emotional because I hadn't seen the guys, and Phil, because we sort of piggybacked some shows to get Uriah Heep and the MSP stuff, and I hadn't seen the guitar player. I hadn't seen Mick in eons, and just to be up there on stage with him was just, well, it was like I got goosebumps. It was so cool.
Bet. That had to be emotional, yeah.
Oh, it was so cool. And then on the back of that, we ended up writing, I think, 5 or 6 songs already that people are going, well, really? I want to hear them. So there's about 5 or 6 fresh Grand Prix songs that we need to get back in there and finish. So
wow, yeah. Cool.
Crazy, huh? Crazy.
That is crazy. That would be really cool though if you guys finish that up and actually get it out.
And it sounds really fresh. It sounds fresh. It doesn't. It's got all of the hallmarks of a Grand Prix thing, but in 2025, 26.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. I was sidetracked a little bit a minute ago when you were mentioning live album. That is with that lineup. What'd you say about that
lineup? That would be with the UK lineup.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, and that's coming out maybe this year then?
We're right now we're in there taking a look at what we have, looking at the tracks, and I think the plan is sometime. I don't know what it'll be called or what it'll be part of. I think probably this year. Yeah. That's
gotcha.
The idea is anyway to get it finished and do artwork with it and have a listen to it and see if it's good or it stinks or whatever.
Right. You know it won't stink.
Well, there'll be parts of it that might. Yeah.
But see, that's the fun of live, though, isn't it? You know, these conversations come up all the time about, you know, live or in backing tracks and this and that. And, you know, I still feel that even if my favorite singer or my favorite guitarist or whatever, drummer is having an off night or screw up an ending of a song or something, I relish that. I rather hear the screw up or the bad note in the voice or whatever it might be than hear it be perfect, because that's rock and roll to me.
Because it's live. It's live, right. And it's almost 99.9% impossible to make it perfect if it's really live.
Exactly.
If it's really live. Because I do it all the time. There'll be a phrase that, for the most part, is always right, and you're just in a headspace, and and later you go, "The hell was I doing?" but it was live. It was like, you know, you said something, you did something, you go, "I would never say that," and you go, "Well, it's right there."
Right.
and that's cool. No backing tracks, that's for sure. Absolutely, no backing tracks. Yeah, I mean, just again, not to digress, but a lot of people have been asking, what do I think of, you know, AI, blah, 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 blah. And what do you say? It's never going to replace Joe Blow. It's just not, you know. They will perfect it. They already have perfected it to a point that it's almost indistinguishable. They can get character into the voice. They can do all sorts of stuff. Why? Because we have the technology to do it.
Right.
Will people be satisfied? I think, you know, we seem to be satisfied with flavor of the week, and we always complain about it, and then it's gone, and then we're on to the next, and then we forgot about it. It's hard to replace sweat and blood walking up on the stage and seeing it and watching it and hearing it up close and personal. AI is never going to do that. It's not going to do it. And as long as we can stand on our 2 feet and sing a note, hopefully we can still do it. And until such point as they don't need us anymore, then okay, off you go, take it and run with it, you know. But you know, Ralph, you can't progress.
Right.
And I don't think you should. Because there's great new things to find out, you know. It just did.
Yeah, and I agree with that, but I have heard I've been sent actually a couple of like hard rock AI generated tracks. And it sounds, pretty good, as far as perfection of notes and things like that. But it's also soulless. So,
of course.
It's like, it's not for me.
Machine does soul. I have some friends in Italy actually who want me to sing a track, and they sent me the track, and they didn't tell me it was AI. So they sent me the track with the vocal melody, lyric, everything. They just want me to re-record it. And I immediately went back and I went, I don't know what you want me to do. This is awesome. And they're going, awesome if you like AI. And I'm going, I actually didn't hear it. I could hear a crackle in the voice. I could hear some sort of emotion in the voice. And he goes, yeah, a great program. And he goes, there was a lot of, the machinist really loves their espresso in the morning. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I tumbled and fell over the track. And he goes, yeah, now listen to it again. Now that you know. And sure enough, no, it is soulless. It's absolutely soulless. It's soulless.
But you're right though, as far as first glance. The first one that was sent to me, I forget, they made up some kind of name for it, the people that sent it to me. I was like, man, I wonder what this is. This is pretty good. Kind of Van Halen-ish guitars and things like that. A little bit of a gritty vocal. I'm like, it's kind of good. So I'm researching it, and I came to find out that there wasn't a human involved other than the guy that, put it into AI to create however that works.
I was quick to respond. I went, damn, this guy is good. Yeah. I wish I could do it. I can't reproduce that. And of course, they came back to me and they were going, stupid Irish guy.
Nipped a little too much whiskey that day. Oh, your internet just froze on you, Robin. I don't know if you're still hearing me.
I can hear you, but there you are.
Oh, you're back. Yeah, you froze there for a minute. And you know what?
Yeah, you did too.
Now the sun's hitting you real funny. Is that a drape or something there? Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, I had the same problem here with the sun.
I'm usually up in my little studio, but my son is he's talking to his professor. He's taking his master's. So
that's very important.
He needed quiet space, and I went, don't worry, kick your dad out of the room.
Yeah, I'm just talking to Ralph anyway.
Okay. I went, Ralph loves a bit of sun.
After the last couple of weeks I spent back in the Midwest, I sure do.
Better man than me.
Oh, it's a good thing you weren't on tour through Wisconsin and Illinois, because it was pretty brutal the last couple of weeks.
God help those poor people.
Yeah, now the East Coast. You mentioned Reb. I mean, I hope he got home okay from Anaheim, because that looked pretty nasty.
Last week I was talking to some of my Swedish friends, and they were going, "Oh my God, you're so lucky you're not here right now. It's minus 28." And
Air temperature? Ugh.
And I said, that's not cold, that's dead. And then I'm hearing similar reports out of the East Coast that it's minus forever. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, I think it was Monday, I think. When I left my hotel room Monday morning, air temperature was minus 17 and wind chill was minus 40. So yeah, I was a little bit chilly.
Oh, I hope those thermals were working.
Yeah, I ended up having to do a quick Walmart run because I did not bring. I forgot gloves, and my hands were getting all beat up. In fact, they still got some windburn and stuff on them. But yeah, thank God for a nearby Walmart to at least get me some layers that I didn't bring with me.
Thank God for California.
And that too, yes. I was so happy. When I left Saturday morning to go to Anaheim, it was think it was -7 air. And then when I landed, it was 65 above. And I was like, this is beautiful.
We'll take that.
Yeah. So just while we were on your stuff, so you mentioned about being requested to sing on that track, and that was something I was going to ask you. What else you got going on this year? Because I know you've done a lot of these guest appearances with Tommy Denander and different things. What else might we be hearing from you beside Black Swan this year?
I don't. There's a small UK label that over the years I've done a lot of stuff. So has everybody else, including the likes of Doug Aldrich and just a plethora of great singers and artists. And they produce records called like Circle of Friends, Turkish Delight, because the CEO owner is from the Middle East, and he has this great love for rock music. Mm-hmm. And he's had the label for, I think, 30-something years, and brings in everybody. He loves to have compilations and everybody guesting and singing different tracks. So about a year ago, he introduced me to Middle Eastern music, which is a very different kind of format. He sent me a piece that I immediately recognized the intro as an Andrew Lloyd Webber piece of music.
Okay.
I went, I can't sing that. This is an Andrew Lloyd Webber. He goes, yeah, I know. He said, I was just wondering if you'd recognize. And I went, of course I did. Everybody knows this. This is actually from Jesus Christ Superstar. Anyway, but it was part of another piece of music that they had written. And long story endless, he started sending me a lot of Middle Eastern style tracks, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Then suddenly Simon Phillips was playing drums on it. Then suddenly it's like Neil Fairclough, the bass player from Queen, is playing on it, and I'm all interested. Right. And he said, I'm going to send it to you with the original vocals that are in Persian, but this is not what we're going to do. We're going to restructure the tracks, and I want to hear what you would do with it. So we started working on it, and I'm totally intimidated. I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to do with this? It's a different format, Right. But interesting because it gets you to play around with your voice a bit and do different things that I wouldn't normally do. And I went, oh, this is so cool. And it's heavy. It's hard. It's got a very Western feel in it, but it's got the sound of a Middle Eastern thing going on. And I'm going,
sounds interesting.
This is different. So we're almost up to a whole record.
Wow.
Not sure what's going to happen to it. It may come out as a Turkish Delight record, Circle of Friends, whatever. So I'm doing that and having a blast doing it just to do something different.
Yeah.
I'm also concentrating on what I do for the Sweden Rock Festival, and Dragon Productions, who for years have taken care of, have been the agency for MSG, for Michael Schenker. They approached me middle of last year once they knew that I was out doing my solo stuff, and offered to take me on as a solo artist. And of course I said, why didn't you ask me 30 years ago, for God's sake?
Right.
You wait till now. And they're huge McAuley Schenker fans. And I've known that all the time working with MSG. So I signed on to them. And now they are looking at putting shows together in Netherlands, in Denmark, more in Sweden, Northern Germany, that sort of stuff.
Wow.
And we've already started talking about how we make this work here in the States. So I might have to have a U.S. squad.
Yes.
As well. So busy, lots of different stuff going on, and I hope we can fit all of it in. Yeah. I still enjoying what I'm doing. It's like I'm having fun with it. As long as the voice is good, I'll be there to take it up to the plate. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And while we're talking solo stuff, I know last year when Soulbound was coming out, you had made a comment. I don't remember your exact wording, but basically that you weren't really expecting a third Robin McAuley album at that point for Frontiers.
Yeah.
And of course it happened, and you were happy that it did, and all of that. Where does that stand for you now? Is there plans for another Robin McAuley record, or no?
I have a feeling they'll tell me when I go to Naples. I have a feeling there'll be a conversation, even if it's just, we're good for another one, right? even if it's just a statement, I think there'll be some talk about it. I was looking at my contract. I can't find it anywhere, but I'm sure there's a page.
Might be just like the Black. Might be just like
there's
the
a page
Black
I
Swan.
haven't seen. Yeah, do you
Right.
remember you signed that? No, actually, I don't remember signing that.
That's all right. You got it in you. It's so cool. I mean, it almost seems like, obviously the later part of the '80s, you were running around like crazy with Michael Schenker. Tons of shows, tons of attention, MTV, all the stuff. And then it probably quieted down a little bit for you as far as just how many things you were out doing, and then I know even the early part of this century was probably a little bit quieter for you. And now it seems like, from what I see, just looking at it from a fan perspective, it seems like things have really heated up in this decade, kind of. And
Crazy.
I just wonder what's that like for you? Like, do you?
It's crazy. You're absolutely right. It is crazy because I made a very conscious decision. I mean, our two boys will be 27 come Valentine's Day. One of them is married. I'm a grandpa.
And yes, I was going to say.
Right?
Yep.
And I made a conscious decision when they came into the world. I was in Japan, and my son Jamie took his first steps, and I was bummed.
Yeah.
I was bummed. I came home and I went, that's just not going to happen again. I was home for a couple of days, and then our son Casey, the married one now, he took steps. But I saw that, and I decided to literally, pun intended, pull the plug. And you have kids and everything that goes along with that, the responsibility, a regular paycheck, which you can't guarantee as a musician,
Right.
And I got a real job. I sat at a desk. I became a graphic artist. And I was able to provide, and it's amazing because throughout all of that, on my wife's bucket list, she always wanted to be a nurse, but there was never the time because it just wasn't.
Raising the boys.
Yeah, and then I think when they were 5, the phone's ringing again because I refused to join Survivor in, I think, 94 or something, at the end of the McAuley Schenker period or whatever it was. And so they were back on the phone going, hey, you ready to do this? And then I end up joining Survivor, as you know. And I was in there for like 5-6 years. And then we started going out doing all the Weekend Warrior stuff with Survivor. God rest Scotty, it was his anniversary.
Thank you, yes.
And through the Survivor phase, Raiding the Rock Vault came up. And that was a monstrous decision to say, do I quit the day job that I put so much time and effort into, and the security of it, and a regular paycheck, and blah, blah, blah. What if I quit and it blows hot air tomorrow and we're all out of a job?
Right.
And so I had a kind of an arrangement with work. Hey, if this doesn't work out, can I sort of crawl back?
Please.
Can I please come back? And it was daunting to sit at a desk when you've never done anything like that,
Sure.
But the kids took priority, and fast forward almost 1,500 shows in 7 years with Raiding the Rock Vault. And glorious pandemic hits. And just before it gets to the tail end of that, Schenkerfest comes back into the fold. that got crazy for 2 or 3 years. And we did extensive touring with that.
Right.
And then the solo stuff comes into being. And then Black Swan comes into being. And I'm going, I've never been this busy in my whole life, you know?
Yeah.
And I decided to leave the Vegas thing. I went back in for about a year after the pandemic. And because the Schenkerfest had been taking place, I absolutely loved the road. And I loved the live shows and not going into the same place night after night, which was super easy if you think about it, you know. Not that it was out of bed to work, but because I came home all the time. And then the pandemic hit. And then my wife, Gina, said, now would be a good time for me to pursue that nursing degree that I wanted. And she worked really hard, and she did. She became a nurse. And for the past, 6-7 months, she's actually a nursing instructor. She's teaching nurses how to be nurses now after all of those years of,
wow.
And she's works in mental health. She does so much, and it was all, not to get all down here, but it was all about the kids. It was all about the family. It was all about taking care of business before anything else comes to the fold, and just setting the priorities straight. And I'm really happy for it. She's really happy for it. She's a very smart woman. And you get through that big dark cloud that was hanging over you. How are we ever going to do this? Because, I'm Irish, she's Austrian. We came in here. We're both citizens for countless years. But we had to work. And we had no support team, no family.
Yeah.
Just the two of us. Then it became just the four of us. And now we have an extended family, grandson and in-laws. And
right. Yeah.
So sorry to digress again, but
I find that interesting that you kind of.
Yeah, I managed to keep that balance and keep the music flowing at the same time. You know, and just finding your feet and knowing what it is that you want to do, and knowing what it is that you love most. And my wife has said to me for years, she goes, if you're not doing your music, you're just going to be miserable, and you're going to make everybody else miserable. And, if I'm home for a week, she goes, shouldn't you be somewhere? So she has been like super, super supportive all of the years. And I don't think I'd have been able to do it, honest to God, without her support.
Oh,
so,
I can imagine. I mean, if you're gone a month or so,
it's not easy.
It's not easy. No,
it's easier now that the boys are like almost 27. But it was hard. The Vegas period was extremely hard.
So they didn't come out and stay with you there.
They would come out every odd weekend, and I'd come home. I'm not patting myself on the back, but I would leave the show. I'd leave Vegas maybe 11:30 on a Wednesday night, roll in my front door at 4:00 in the morning, and I'd be back up at 5:30, get them ready for school. And I used to do the carpooling. I used to love doing carpooling. And I'd do the carpooling, and then I'd be back out the front door 6:30 on a Saturday morning and start the same process again. And it drove us crazy, but here we are. We're even more crazy now.
But it's all a good crazy.
No, it's good crazy. Yeah, it's really good crazy. It's, again, you have to put your A, B's, and C's together and see what falls. And if you want to make it work, I believe you make it work. If it's worth the effort, it's worth the effort.
Yeah.
And we have lots of music around us all the time. There's music blaring in this house, like, drives you crazy sometimes. And it can be anything. It can be anything. Trust me.
Well, you and your son have to do a record together too. That's got to be on the agenda.
He gave me hell last week because he plays in his local church band.
Right.
And they're always telling me, you're like a rock guitar player. You're playing too loud. I swear. And he's a great singer. He steps up to sing, and now they take his mic away. You can sing, you don't need a microphone. and he looks at me and he pulls faces and going, And so he knows that I've been back in the studio doing a lot with the Black Swan stuff because he loves the singles. And he's going, I thought I was supposed to do that because he was on the first two.
Right.
And he's on all of my solo stuff, you know, and he was bummed. And I went, remember, you became a dad. You just didn't have the time.
Just a little, little bit of a sidetrack there.
It's funny because there he was, you know, willing and ready, and suddenly he becomes a dad, and he's going, why he wasn't in the studio? And I went, because you're in daddy mode.
Right.
Yeah.
Next album,
for sure.
the baby will be kind of.
He'll be singing backup vocals. Maybe he'll be playing drums on it.
I love that. All right, so we got that going on, and then I guess we should swing back before we wrap up to our Black Swan Paralyzed record. Again, coming out February 27th now. Hopefully no more manufacturing delays or anything like that. We'll change that again, but February 27th, Paralyzed. I have 3 tracks right now. I've got King, I've got Paralyzed, and I've got, what's the other one that I have? The Fire and the Flame.
Yeah.
So, of those 3, what should we play at the end of this?
Oh, I would love Paralyzed since it's current.
Paralyzed, okay.
And it's also the title track, yeah.
Yes, all right, so we'll play that, and maybe we'll see some Black Swan live, fingers crossed. It would be awesome. I got to tell you, your guitar player, Red Beach, was killing it Saturday night at this event that I was at for Ronnie Montrose. Awesome. So it'd be really great to hear him wailing on some of these Black Swan songs.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. He's awesome. I love his style. I love his melody. Yeah, he's the real deal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, Robin, if there was anything you'd want people to take away when they hear this new record, what would that be?
Learn about Black Swan, listen to Shake the World, listen to Generation Mind, records 1 and 2. Get knee deep into Paralyzed, and if you like it, give us a thumbs up, play it loud. And give us a like, and I'll always reply. I'll do my utmost to reply and give you a thumbs up. Go on Frontiers Music SRL if you want it. Share the love. Post it, share it, step and repeat. And thanks for listening, basically. You can find me on official Robin McAuley. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, but don't really go on X that much. You can go to my official site if you want to know what I'm doing, or if you want to know what Black Swan is doing, go straight to Frontiers Music SRL and bring up Black Swan, and you'll be right in the thick of it. You'll know what we're doing and how we're doing, what's coming out. And all videos currently from singles are up and available to watch on YouTube.
Perfect. Yes, and for those of you watching, I'll put some links in for the things Robin's mentioning, but pretty easy. If you search Black Swan Band, you'll find everything you need to know about Black Swan. Same if you search Robin McAuley, of course. And it's really awesome to have you here again, Robin. Always enjoy.
Love RadioBypass. You are awesome. Thank you so much for having me back. Really, I mean that.
And thank you for all your support too. You've been very kind over the years to us. So, awesome. And to me personally.
You know what's cool? Before we do wrap, what was cool was watching the Golden Globes, which I did, and to see that there is an official category now for podcasts.
Really?
Oh, yes, there is.
Can you nominate me or something so we can get the word out about RadioBypass more?
I'm going to do some more investigating into that, but I don't see why not.
That would be great. Because my goal, and I don't know how to do it, that for me this show is all about you wonderful musicians that create this music, and I just want to be able to shine a light on all the great stuff that comes out that unfortunately often gets ignored, and we know radio.
And that's why I think it's a great thing. It's recognized officially, and it's not that it never was, but it's a real deal now. It's a real deal, and people are taking notice. And there's so much podcasts around. the conversational piece, I'll always stick to the music one because it's cool. It's really cool. Congratulations on that front. And thank you for keeping it going, because that's what we need.
Well, as long as I keep drawing breath, I'm going to try to keep doing it. But
because in terms of media support, in terms of what the labels do for the artists, the podcast, in my opinion, are a massive part of all of that. Massive.
Yeah.
It's not like we're going to it's not like we're going to a record store and sitting down and talking to people. You're not. You're having a discussion via podcast, and it's the way to fly. It's great. It's really cool. So hats off to you, sir.
Well, thank you, sir. All right, everybody, we've been chatting with Robin McAuley, the amazing Robin McAuley. And I've been stealing your line about play it loud, by the way, because I like that line.
All caps and parentheses.
A couple extra exclamation points. And so taking Robin's line to play it loud, hopefully you've been listening to this whole thing and you're here at the end, because now we're going to crank up a terrific song, title track from the new Black Swan, out February 27th. Turn it up, play it loud. This is Paralyzed.
Thank you, guys.